I feel you, Tom. Try running it. A tough day for everyone in the NFC East except for the Redskins, who played against a struggling Saints defense. Now, according to FPI, the Eagles have the best chance to win the NFC East at 55%, followed by the Giants, 30%, the Redskins, 13%, and the Cowboys have a 2% chance to win the division. Oh, Skip, break this down for us. How do you see it all playing out at this point?
Stephen A. Smith, you can call me a dreamer if you want to. You can call me a typically delusional Cowboy fan, and you might be right. But even as I sit here today, I still believe deep in my heart and into my soul that my team has a shot to win out and steal the NFC East at 9-7 with Tony Romo back in the saddle. I have had this feeling for weeks. I can't explain it, but I'm not going to give up on it. And again, you can look down my Cowboys schedule here. I'll just blurt through it real quick. Stephen A. at Miami with Romo, of course, then Carolina on Thanksgiving, at Washington, at Green Bay, Jets, at Buffalo late in December, and then Washington at home. You could make a case they will lose out. They've lost 7 in a row. They could lose 7 in a row more. 14 straight losses. You could make that case. I can also make the case they'll get on a roll because they have enough talent to win all of the above. And I look at the Eagles right now. I don't know what's going to happen with Sam Bradford. At least he's in the concussion protocol. We know that much. Mark Sanchez is the ultimate accident waiting to happen. And he happened yesterday on the Eagles, right on schedule, right on time. He throws an interception into the end zone that loses that game to the Dolphins at Philadelphia. Your Giants, both Molly, Stephen A., they've got some losable games coming up, and they're not sure who they are because they've blown some late games. So I could see them teetering and falling to 9-7 or even 8-8. And then here come those Redskins. Kirk Cousins has won 4 straight games at home, 9 touchdowns to 0 interceptions. He's 4-1 now at home. He's also 0-4 on the road, and they have some tough road games coming up. Could they teeter from 4-5 and fall back? Sure, Dallas has to play them twice. Can Dallas beat Kirk Cousins twice? I think they can. That's just me. So all of a sudden, by default, I think Dallas with 7 losses could catch the 3 teams now tied with 5 losses. I don't think it's undoable. In fact, I got a feeling, Stephen A. Smith.
Well, you can have a feeling all you want to. You're entitled to it. I wish you all the best because one of those feelings is going to be misery. The Dallas Cowboys have road games at Miami, at Washington, at Green Bay, at Buffalo. They're losing 2 of those 4 games. They're losing 2 of those 4 games. That will give them 9 losses right there. And, oh, by the way, you have a home game, but it's against Carolina. Okay? So, to me, you know, the best case scenario is that the Dallas Cowboys go 5-2 over their next 7 games. That would give them a 7-9 record. I didn't want to say it a bit earlier in the show, but the more I look at the schedule, the more I'm thoroughly convinced it's pretty much over for the Cowboys. Your season is done. I'll say it. I'll go in the opposite direction because I don't see you going 7 straight. I could see you potentially going 5-2, winning a few games that people don't expect you to win, but you're not going undefeated. You're going to lose 2 of these games. I don't know who. You could lose at home to Carolina. You could lose on the road to Green Bay or Washington or Buffalo. It'll be 2 of those 3. You're probably going to end up going 6-10, possibly 7-9. But that's the best to hope for. I think the Giants have the outside shot at winning this. I think the Eagles are still formidable. They can't be sneezed upon because I think that they can put up points and anything could happen. I'm not sold on the Redskins. I know that Kirk Cousins had a field day, but here's all you need to know. According to numerous reports that are out there, if Rob Ryan hasn't been fired yet from New Orleans as their defensive coordinator, he's on the verge of becoming fired. if indeed that is true, because I don't know it to be true, but I imagine it would be and it should be, because as far as I'm concerned, he should have been fired yesterday. He shouldn't even been allowed to take the bus home, for crying out loud. The defense stinks. They're putrid. He's lucky to have a job at this particular moment in time. Had he gotten a haircut and lost some weight, maybe he would have been a head coach. He wouldn't have been in a position where he had to be the defensive coordinator, and as a result, would have been able to disguise some of his flaws, and he might still be employed after the day. But that doesn't appear to be the case. In the end, what it comes down to is that it was against New Orleans. So I'm not getting caught up in Kirk Cousins going 20 for 25, 324 yards, or 514 yards total because Alfred Morris showed up and they decided to give him the ball, okay, along with others. I'm not getting caught up in all of that. The Redskins looked great yesterday, but it was because they were going against the New Orleans Saints, who don't have a defense. They stink, and that's what this really comes down to. So that's where we are. And I'm not going to pick the Redskins. I'm certainly not going to pick the Dallas Cowboys. It's going to come down to the Giants and the Eagles. I don't know which one it's going to be, but I know it ain't going to be from the nation's capital, and it ain't going to be from Big D.
So is it going to be Mark Sanchez and those Eagles? Is that what you're telling me?
I don't know. I can't go there because, I feel the same way about him that you feel. I mean, when he threw the interceptions in the end zone yesterday, I thought about you instantly. I was like, Skip's going to call it the ultimate accident waiting to happen. And he's absolutely right, because that's Mark Sanchez. He just finds a way to mess things up. He just can't help himself. I mean, there's just no other way to slice it. And it's interesting to see Chip Kelly, the boy genius that he is. I love how everybody's talking about Chip Kelly, Skip, and they allow him to lean on, the right plays are being called. It's the execution. That is true. I don't even fault him for that. But here's the caveat, Skip. The execution, or lack thereof, is being committed by players handpicked by him. So if you don't want to blame yourself, Chip Kelly, as the coach, you damn sure need to blame yourself as the de facto GM picking all of these players. It's what you wanted. You got what you wanted. You got what you wanted. So to me, he's definitely culpable in that regard. But the Giants, they're Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. 1 week they're one way, the next week they're the other way. You can't rely on them. Here's what you can rely upon, though. Neither Philadelphia nor New York is going to lose 9 or 10 games this season. That's the difference. Dallas is going to lose 9 or 10 games. Are you sure
about that?
I am sure. Dallas is going to lose 9 or 10 games. Neither one of them will.
Okay, I got a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just ravaged what's left of those New Orleans Saints. Wasn't it just a couple of weeks back that the Saints beat the Giants?
Yeah.
Do I remember that? Or maybe I'm foggy on that one.
Because
oh, they did.
Oh, wait a minute.
They did.
Excuse me. I would appreciate it if you're going to talk to the American public. Don't be a lying politician. Quote me accurately. I said their defense stinks. Their offense scored 52 points. Their defense gave up 49. So that's what I'm saying. They gave up 49. They gave up 37. They gave up 34. I mean, every time you turn around, they're giving up 30 plus. This is Rob Ryan's defense. They stink. And I'm not sure it's because of the players. I think it's because of Rob Ryan.
Okay, last question. Haven't we seen Eli Manning struggle in late game situations, managing the clock, managing the situation?
Yes.
I don't know. You trust him? You trust him to win the East? I'm not so sure
Skip,
about that.
I don't trust him to be consistent, but they have such an edge on Dallas, they don't have to be. They've got a 3-game advantage already. Do I see Eli Manning showing up 1 week and losing the next, showing up 1 week or 2 weeks and then losing another game? Sure. I could see the Giants going, what is it? They've got 10 games. I could see them going, winning 9, losing 7, going 4-2 over the next 6 games. I could see the Eagles.
I don't know about that.
I could see the Eagles going, 4-3. Over their next 7 games. I could see that. What I see neither of them doing is going 1-5 or, something like that. I don't see that happening. And that's what it would take for the Cowboys to catch them.
Well, I could see them both going 8-8, and then Dallas would take its chances. We'll see what happens.
Fair.
You know what? I could see the Giants winning a Super Bowl like they do every 4th year, and they've won one at 9-7. So there is a chance for your Cowboys,
yes,
Mr. Bayless.
Dan, your objectivity is so beautiful to watch. It's so beautiful to watch.
I learned from the best. You too.
It is.
As always. Moving on, the Titans take offense to Cam Newton's celebration yesterday, but do the guys have a problem with it? We'll talk camp when we come back.